Okay, see here. See in chapter 6 say till now which sections we have done? We have done these sections all starting with ATC, triple C, all C related sections. They are investment related sections. Then we did this patch also, health related section, and then even this is over. Interest expenditure related sections. All are starting with alphabet E. Then donation related we have done 3. One is still remaining ATG. And then royalty, this part is remaining. Interest income also we have done 80 TTA, TTB. And in other section we have done this rent paid 80 double G. Okay. Now see, you might have noticed in this topic, look here. Somewhere it is assessee, spouse, children. Somewhere it is dependent parents, dependent brother. So this creates a mess. So it is better that for each section you should independently analyze. So let us recap from the beginning only that part where family members are involved. Means I am not repeating all the sections, I am just repeating the part wherever the family members are involved. So see, in section ATC, when you are investing in lump interest, so all the investments are made in your name only. But at 3 places it is in the name of assessee, spouse and children. Okay, assessee, spouse and children, it is in LIC premium, ULIP and PPF deposit. And here did you notice it was not dependent, assessee, spouse, children. See, best technique to remember is what you know, the condition of dependent is there only in D sections. D for dependent and section also D. It is only in D section you will notice there is a condition of dependent. So this is ATC. See, this is just a trick to remember. Law has not decided like that. There is no logic behind this. It is just a trick to remember. This ATC doesn't have alphabet D. So no headache of dependent. So that means dependent, independent, anything is allowed. But it should be assessee, spouse and children, but not in all items or lump interest, only in 3 items. Life insurance, ULIP and PPF. Okay. Then after this, where else you found family members? Here all the investments were in the name of assessee only. Then we saw in ATD, DD, DDB. Here family members were there. In ATD it is medical insurance for whom? Assessee, spouse, dependent children and parents. Okay. Then in ATDD, HDR, handicap dependent relative. So your spouse, children, parents, brother, sister, all should be dependent. All should be dependent. Because we have remembered like this only. HDR, handicap dependent relative. So each and every person, spouse, children, parents, brother, sister, all should be dependent. And even in DDB it was same. All should be dependent. But all means spouse, children, parents, brother, sister, all should be dependent. And what was the trick to remember? The condition of dependent is there only in D section. One more trick, see. In ATD, there are how many Ds? Only one D. So only one person has to be dependent, children. But here there are two Ds, here also two Ds. So all should be dependent. You didn't understand what I said? In ATD, there is only one alphabet D. So only one person was required to be dependent. That was children. You have revised or not? Assessee, spouse, dependent children and parents. So only children was supposed to be dependent. So only one person dependent. And how you can relate? There is only one alphabet D. So only one person has to be dependent. But in DD and DDB, there is only one D or all Ds. All Ds. So all have to be dependent. And all means spouse, children, parents, brother, sister, all should be dependent. Okay. What am I analyzing? You know, where family members are involved, we are just analyzing because you will goof up otherwise over there. So first I discussed ATC, then I took this and this. Okay. And thereafter where family members had come, you know, in ATE. In ATE loan is taken for education, but for whose education? It should be education of assessee himself, spouse, children and student for whom he is a guardian. And here are you noticing there is no dependent requirement because this is not D section. We have made a good trick that only in D section dependent, and where there is only one D, only one person has to be dependent, children. Okay. So here it is assessee, spouse, children and student for whom he is a guardian. Thereafter where it was then that's it. Directly it was there in 80GG. That 80GG deduction you get when you pay rent, but you should not have house. But who should not have house? Assessee, spouse, minor children and HUF where is a member. They should not own house. Okay. So this was a headache of all different family members in different section. But this was in chapter 6A. What about in income from salary? In income from salary at two places only we will have to remember we had to remember family members. Firstly, it was in medical facility. We remember that who should be patient? Assessee, spouse, children, dependent parents, brother, sister. Same was in leave travel. Assessee, spouse, children, dependent parents, brother, sister. But in leave travel, there was a limit on children if the children are born on or after 11098. And then something like this was there in income from other source also. In I am Dr. LC, that was a list of gifts which are totally exempt. So in I am Dr. LC, what was C? COVID. And in COVID treatment, COVID death, its family member was defined. Who is the family member? Spouse, children, dependent, parents, brother, sister. Okay. So this is better to be analyzed. If you analyze this way, then you will not make silly mistakes. Okay. Now see, based on whatever sections we have done till now in this topic, we can take one question right now, and that is question number 1. Take out question number 1. This question will require knowledge of whatever sections we have done till now. See, one question I want to solve along with you properly. Thereafter, I can give you homework also. Okay. Question number 1, deduction under chapter 6A. Ready? Okay, now tell me, in the questions of chapter 6A, wait. Okay, yeah. In chapter 6A question, what do they ask in the question? Calculate chapter 6A. What is the thing they will ask? They will ask net taxable income, or sometimes they will ask total income. Total income, net taxable income, that is the thing they ask in the question. So read in the question, first line, you will notice, see what is written. From the following details, calculate the net taxable income. Okay. You should observe this. Whenever chapter 6A means in the question they will ask net taxable income. So tell me what will be your format. First you will have to calculate 5 heads of income. Then one by one all items of chapter 6A sections. And then the final answer is net taxable income. Now Mrs. Shreya, what do you call Mrs. Shreya as assessee? Mrs. Shreya is the assessee, name of the assessee. And previous year 23-24, is it casually given or this is a fixed previous year for our exam? It is fixed for our exam 23-24. Okay, read. See, first we'll have to mark the effect of all items. We cannot directly start solving these sums, because these are mixed questions. When we are doing salary, we had to do only salary. We used to directly start solving by reading the points. But these are mixed questions, so first we'll discuss, decide the effect, and then we'll solve. So, and do one thing, if it is related to salary, write there IFS. If it is related to income from other source, write IFOS. And if it is from lump enters, write ATC. So that way you will do the marking on the, where will you do the marking? You know, see, besides the serial number. Besides the serial number. Okay, so start. First is basic salary. You can write there IFS. But tell me the effect also. Basic salary 33,500 after deduction of PF contribution profession act. That means this is a net amount. You will have to make it gross. Then calculation we'll do later. Right now finish the effects. Next is DA. DA entering into retirement benefits means in terms. But whether DA in terms or not in terms, it is fully taxable. Okay, then what about employer's contribution to RPF? IFS. Here also you can write IFS and tell me the effect also. First you will write in the inner column, then exam up to 12% of basic plus DA in terms plus turnover commission. Okay. Then interest. Wait. One thing we forgot. Wait. Read the first point again. Basic salary 32, 33,500 after deduction. Okay. That means this was net amount. But tell me what was deducted from his salary, from her salary? Employees contribution and profession tax. So see, profession tax first we will add back to make it gross, and then at the end you will take deduction also under section 16. You know that. But what you are not realized is, what about this thing? Provident fund contribution, which is deducted from salary, it is called employees contribution, and employees contribution comes in 80C. Forgot 80C? In lump and ters, lump, there are 3 P's. What was the first P? Employees contribution to SPF and RPF. And this is RPF only. See, it was written later on RPF. So do one thing, underline this PF contribution and write there 80C. See, these things we were not bothered when we were doing income from salary chapter. But right now we are doing everything all together. So this has the effect in 80C. Do you remember or not? In lump enters, first P, employees contribution. And profession tax you will also take it in deduction under section 16. That you know. Then what about interest credited to RPF? Even this is IFS. First write there IFS. Are you marking the way I am doing? And effect is what? Exam up to 9.5%. Up to 9.5 means up to anything below 9.5 is exam. So here it is below 9.5, fully exam. You can put directly dash in the outer column. Then, now see, you will find interest, so many interests are there. But be careful, wait, let me remind you one thing. Look. If you come across interest income, then it is income from other sources. But it should be income. But there are some 80E related section. 80 single E, double E, double EA, double EB. That is also for interest, but that is interest paid. But you know what I have noticed in my past teaching? Some students just read the word interest and they do take any decision. Always check whether interest is your income or expenditure. Accordingly, we decide the effect. Yes, if interest is income, then I will go to income from other sources. But if interest is my expenditure, then you should be reminded of 80 single E, double E, double EA, double EB. So you have to be careful. Huh? In fact, even this was interest, but this is salary related. This you can easily identify. But in other places, you have to be careful. So see, what is this? This is interest income or expenditure. Interest on deposit in Nelco. Deposit in Nelco means we have invested somewhere. So on that we have received interest. This is income interest. And this is income from other source. And in income from other source, whenever you come across interest, you have to search in GPS. But this is not in GPS, so fully taxable. So write here IFOS, income from other sources. Then, what about interest paid? Now see, it is paid. See, many students, you know what they do? Interest, income from other source. Interest is income from other source provided it is an income. But here it is what? Interest paid. It is an expenditure. So read what is it? Interest paid on loan taken for postgraduate program of Delhi University pursued by her independent son. So this is loan for education. An education loan, interest paid is allowed under 80 single E. 80 single E, remember? But it should be which education? Anything after 12th grade. Anything after 12th grade. So this is after 12th grade. Then it should be whose education? Assessee. spouse, children, student for whom he is a guardian. So check, it is for whom? Independent son, so children. But they are saying independent. Don't pay attention. You will pay attention to this when only when there are D sections. That trick I gave you, that was very important. Huh? Only when there is a D section, you have to check dependent. And that too, if it is single D, only single person has to be dependent, children. Rest all places, all should be dependent. But it is only in D sections. But this is not D section, this is ATE. So dependent, independent doesn't matter. And son is children, so eligible. Come on, wake up. So this is ATE. But is there any limit in ATE? Full amount is allowed. But deduction is allowed only for maximum 8 years. So check. When did we take the loan? Did the 8 years expire? Have they given any such data? No. So ignore. If they would have given some data, then we would have checked. Are we in 8 years or not? If we are 9th year, 10th year, 11th year, then deduction is not allowed. Then what about interest on post office savings bank account? This is expenditure or income? Income. And this is a famous income from other sources. So here you will write EFOS. But in EFOS it is exempt up to 3,500. Okay. Plus you will also get deduction under. But TTA or TTB? Depends upon if you are a normal individual then TTA. Senior citizen then TTB. So here who is the assessee? Mrs. Shreya. Age is not given. Normal individual 80 TTA. And in TTA it has to be savings account only. And this is savings account. But see, already 3,500 is exempt. So out of 12,000, 3,500 will be exempt. But balance you will include in EFOS. But that you can minus under 80 TTA. So do one thing. Along with this, you also write here 80 TTA. Then, what about interest accrued on NSE? This is expenditure or income? Income. Do one thing, I forgot to do one thing. Just underline or circle the word paid over here. This is just to tell you that you should notice whether something is paid or received. So tell me, what about interest accrued on NSE? This will go to income from other source and fully taxable because it is not there in GPS. But after including in income from other source, you will take in ATC also. Okay. So write two effects. First you write EFOS here and then you can also write ATC on the right hand side. Then deposit in PPF of a daughter. Tell me, will you just see PPF or you should also see the word besides PPF? You should also see the word besides PPF. What if it was interest on PPF? Then it was exempt 10, 11. But this is interest or deposit. This is not income item. You are invested in PPF. So this will come only ATC. It will come in ATC. But wait, it is for a daughter. Allowed. Because if you remember in ATC, in lump enters, in 3 places there are 3 people. Life insurance, ULIP and PPF. It can be assessed spouse, children. So here it is daughter means children. So it's allowed. You remember or not, life insurance, ULIP and PPF can be for assessed spouse or children. Then contribution to pension fund of LIC. See, pension scheme, if it is of insurance company, triple C. And if it is of central government, it comes in CCD1, CCD1B and CCD2 if employer has contributed. So this is LIC, so it is triple C. So write there it is triple C. Then what about donation? For rural development, see, rural development donation means it comes in GGA. GGA, but you know what was the condition in GGA? Assessee should not be doing business. Our assessee, Mrs. Shreya, is she doing business or salaried person? She is a salaried person. Because see, those who are doing business, they get deduction under the head business only. So we have to always check she should not be carrying on business. So here she is not carrying on business. So you can take it in 80 GGA. So write there 80 GGA. Then what about next donation? National Laboratory for Scientific Research. Again this is for research and research donation is allowed in 80 GGA. But here it is in cash. Cash is allowed only up to 2000. Remember yesterday only I had explained all this. Only up to 2000 cash is allowed. But here it is up to 2000 or more amount. The amount is more, so big amount cash is not allowed. So completely ignore it. So see, if you want you can write 80 GGA and then cancel it. Write 80 GGA then cancel it. Means there was 80 GGA section, but why did we cancel? Because in cash it is not allowed. If it would have been just 2000 or less, we would have allowed. Up to 2000 allowed. But see, donation to political party, not a single rupee cash is allowed. No. Once the amount is big, see, hitched out is what you know, out of 8000 we can take up to 2000. No. If you have given 8000 donation, then you are not allowed to give in cash. Okay. Had you given only 2000, that's okay. But you have given 8000, so it should be by check or online payment or GPay, Paytm, etc. but not cash. And if cash, then completely disallowed. Means don't think that to some extent we can take. No, it's completely disallowed. Then family pension after the death of her husband. Income from other sources. So write here IFOS. And this is subject to standard deduction. How much? 1/3 or 15,000, whichever is less. Remember all this or not? Then she deposited 40,000 with an insurance company for the maintenance of her disabled daughter. Sorry, sister. Disabled. Disabled means what? Handicapped. Disabled means handicapped. And whenever handicapped, you should check who is handicapped. Assessee himself is handicapped, then 80 U. But here assessee himself or family member, then 80 DD. And anyways, how did we remember DD? D means dependent disabled. Dependent disabled. So here I am not disabled, my dependent is disabled. But sister is disabled, is it allowed? See, check that HDR. Handicap, dependent, relative. Check. Is she handicapped? Yes. Is she dependent? Not given. Whenever problem is silent, make positive assumption, dependent. Earlier also twice I have told this point. I remember once it came in income from salary. You don't remember the time spent by you with me, I remember each and every day. So in salary question, one time it was just brother given. Medical treatment of brother. So I told you that time only nothing is given, so assume dependent. And even yesterday we had some this kind of point. So in short, if the problem is silent, assume dependent, make positive assumption. So we are assuming sister is dependent. But HDR, what is our relative? Is she relative? Who is relative over here? Spouse, children, parents, brothers, sisters. Sister falls in relative, so it is allowed. See, today at the beginning of the lecture, what analysis I did, it's better you can also make a table somewhere. Or you make your own notes of what I said at the beginning of the lecture today. Discussion about various family member in different section. Because that is of great help. See, right now it is fresh, you may not feel the need. But later on, you will feel mess. Here it is children, here it is dependent, here independent. So you will feel like a mess. So in short, all the conditions of H, D, R are satisfied. But see in 80 double D, it can be treatment as well as maintenance. So here are we doing treatment of sister or maintenance? And that is allowed. Our section is what? Treatment and maintenance of HDR. So this is perfectly fitting in 80 DD. But what will be the amount of deduction? You know in 80 U and DD there is a flat deduction. And when I say flat, neither less nor more, exact the same. Here it is not maximum. When we say maximum, that means it cannot be more than that. If it is less, take less. But here it is maximum limit or flat deduction? Flat. And so what is the flat amount? 75,000. But severe disability? 1,25,000. So here sister is having severe disability, not given. So why to unnecessarily assume severe disability? Normal disability. Okay. So 75,000. And if someone says, sir, 40,000 is only spent, forget it. I told you yesterday I explained, even if you are spending 500 rupees, you will get flat 75,000. Then Mediclaim insurance premium paid. Medi 80D, 80D Medi, Medi 80D, 80D Medi. Now in Mediclaim insurance, check the conditions. Look, in Mediclaim chart, if you remember, there were 4 conditions. Firstly, payment should be for Mediclaim insurance, central government health scheme, preventive health checkup, medical expenditure, uninsured senior citizen. Then it should be paid by assessee, for own, spouse, dependent children, parents. All that you keep in mind. And payment should be done by any mode other than cash. But for preventive health checkup, cash is allowed. So keep all that in mind. So see here what all we have. Herself means assessee, allowed. Brother, not allowed. Brother is not covered in 80D. In 80D, who are there? Assessee, spouse, dependent children, parent. Assessee, spouse, dependent children, parents. So brother is not covered. See, you have to revise properly. If I just guide you and just give you the direct answer, that is not the right way. You should know all the things on your own. So brother is not eligible. Did you understand that? Then what about daughter? Daughter is eligible, but then it is in cash. But children should be dependent, huh? But that we can assume dependent. But the problem is payment is made in cash. Cash payment is not allowed in 80D. Yes, in preventive health checkup it is allowed. But this is not preventive health checkup. This is the insurance premium. Your cash is not allowed. So I will put a cross mark here, okay? Then after 80D, next is what? Spend 60,000 on the medical treatment of her mother who is uninsured. Medical treatment of her mother who is uninsured. In 80D, you know, there was medical expenditure uninsured senior citizen. Uninsured senior citizen. Uninsured is given, but mother's age is not given. And whenever age is not given, don't assume senior citizen. And it is quite possible, see, you can assume roughly, see, if Mrs. Shreya is of say 35 years also, mother can be below 60, it is possible. Why do assume that she is 60 years old only? Just because mother, they are old only. There are young mothers. Okay. So if age is not given, don't assume senior citizen. Only when they give the age, and that too it is 60 years and above, plus resident, then only senior citizen. But here the age of mother is missing in the question. And see, you cannot say, sir, why can't we assume 60? Why but? See, do you know the age of Shreya? See, if Shreya's age is also given, then we can have a little bit estimate also. If they say Shreya is 46 years old, 49 years old, then also there is a rough chances of assuming senior citizen. But we don't know the age of Mrs. Shreya. Okay, Mrs. means she is married. But married people are 30s, in 30s also. They are in 26, 28 years also. So because none of the person's age is given, we cannot assume her mother is a senior citizen. And if not senior, then junior. Then this becomes disqualified. Okay. Means this you will not take in 80D. Because see, in 80D, what was the rule? Medical expenditure uninsured senior citizen. Uninsured is okay, but it should be senior citizen. But senior citizen is not given. You remember that, or it is not just uninsured. Uninsured senior citizen. We have to check two things: uninsured plus senior citizen. Uninsured is given, but mother's age is not given. So we are assuming mother is below 60. She has not attained the age of 60 years, so not a senior citizen. Okay. And not a senior citizen, then this will not be eligible for 80D. You can write there no 80D because age not given, not a senior citizen. See, make a fixed rule. Whenever someone's age is not given, don't assume senior. To make someone senior, they have to give us age. Yes, I understand this point you find little hard to digest because psychologically you feel mother are old only. But not necessary. Not necessary. You can also check your mother's age. Tell me, you people, your mother's age is what? Around 48. Okay, someone has said 48. Okay, now after 5 6 years, when you start working, even after 10 years, your mother will be 58 years only. After 10 years, you might be earning good income. Means why I am talking about income, because we are computing income, so someone is having good income. So take it on you also. When you also start earning good income, say after 10 years. So after 10 years, your mother will be around 58 years. So quite possible that your mother has not attained the senior citizen age. Okay. See, this I am saying because some people say, so mother should be old only. But why? See, actually it can be anything, but since some is silent, make a protocol, don't assume senior citizen. Okay. At the most in exam you feel scared, you can write a note. Because the age of mother is not given, we have not considered her as senior citizen. Okay. For such cases, you are rewarded marks. Okay. In worst case, if a student writes a note, I have assumed that mother is a senior citizen, they will not deduct marks. Because see, this is such a thing that we cannot say that mother should be treated as junior only, not senior. This is a matter of assumption. Okay. And I have made a protocol in such a way that whenever age is not given, don't assume senior. Whether it is year or any other question. If age is not given, don't assume senior. Okay. So 80D will not come. So I'll do one thing. I will write 80D and then I will cut 80D. We felt like 80D, but we can't take in 80D. Reason being, mother is not senior. Then she stays in a rented house. Rented house, and whenever you stay in a rented house, when you have to pay rent, you get 80 GG. But in 80 GG, you have to check the condition. You should not receive HRA. Check, is she receiving HRA? See, her salary details were given at the beginning of the sum, but she has not received HRA. And regarding, she should not own house, spouse, minor children, HUF, they should not own house. That is not given, so we assume they are not owning house. Neither assessee, nor spouse, nor minor children, nor HUF, where is the member, they don't own any house property, and HRA is not received, it can be seen. So you can take 80 GG. So this fits in 80 GG. Then repayment of loan taken from employer for purchase of electric vehicle. Electric vehicle loan, looking at this, everyone will get carried away by 80 EEB. But in 80EEB, loan should be taken from whom? Banks, financial institution, NBFC. Here you have taken loan from an employer. Yes, your employer may be a bank, but then why to assume that way? See, employer means that employer is a normal company where she might be working. Shreya, okay. But then associate Shreya. So employer is a normal company where she might be working. So we cannot assume that it is a bank only. See, for electric vehicle loan should be taken from banks, financial institution or NBFC. Then only you get deduction for the interest paid of maximum 1,50,000. But here it is not allowed because of the reason that loan is taken from employer and loan from employer is not eligible. So this way they try to fool you. So that's why every minute point you have to be so thorough. That's why revise and come, please revise and come. Underline please. And whenever you miss the lecture, don't keep it pending. You have to wake up at night and finish it up. Okay. So do one thing, you can write here 80 double EB and then cancel it. And you can also highlight this thing, what? Taken from employer, and there you can write therefore not allowed. Right there, taken from employer, therefore not allowed. Yes. Okay, see, her doubt is what that sir, we have taken loan from employer, so in salary you have taught us that whenever you take loan from employer, you should check that are you getting interest benefit. See, interest benefit point should strike when if they give you SBI rate and they give you the rate charged by employer. Do we know the rate of interest charged by boss? Yes, we know that boss is charging interest of 1,80,000. That is okay. But it is at what rate? And we don't even know the rate of State Bank of India. See, we should be aware of two rates. State Bank of India rate and the rate charged by the employer. And there if we see boss is charging less, then it is an interest benefit. Then it can be counted as a perquisite in income from salary. Okay. But here that thought was not required because we don't have the information about the rate of SBI and rate charged by employer. Mainly the point was on 80EEB but not allowed because loan is not from bank, financial institution and NBFC. It is from employer, that's why not allowed. So we have discussed the effect of all items. So start one by one. What is the answer called? Your answer will be called as statement of total income. So ready with the statement? Statement of total income. Now tell me, what do I always say when you are solving the sum? Don't go as per the sum. Go as per system. Many students what they do, where to write basic salary, where to write DA. See, sum is given in meshed form. Suddenly salary, then income from others, so then ATC. But we have to go in a systematic manner. That's why I say don't go as per sum, go as per system. And in our system, in this format, first you have to think headwise. First I will think of all 5 heads, then I will think of chapter 6A. So think, first income from salary. Do we have income from salary? Yes. But do we have a direct answer or we'll have to prepare working? Working. So do like this. Write income from salary in bracket you have to write note 1. Don't write the answer. I already have the answer. So you don't write the answer in advance. Income from salary in bracket note 1. And don't go to note right now. We'll write the all 5 heads name. We'll write the name of all 5 heads and wherever note is required, we will prepare afterwards. After we write the list of 5 heads. Then next head is what? Income from house property. Do we have that in the question? No. So even if not there, just write and put a dash or nil. You can write nil also or dash also. In exam it is not necessary to write, but right now we are writing just for practice and making ourselves understand that thing headwise. Then house property is not there. Next is income from business. Do we have income from business? No, even that is not there. So write nil. Income from business nil. Then what is the next head? Capital gains. Do we have anything in capital gains? Not there. So nil. Then income from other sources, do we have? Yes, we had few items of income from other source. See, it can be seen here. Income from other source, income from other source, income from other source, income from other source. So we have to prepare a working for that. And that will be note number 2. So income from salary and income from other sources, this two we will have to calculate. Okay. So now you can leave the full page like this only. In fact, since this is a big question, leave this page and leave next page half also. Because otherwise it will be difficult to manage in the space. Means the total size of the solution is full 2 sides almost. Almost 2 less than little bit 2. Little bit less than 2 sides. Because there are chapter 6 items and not just 1 or 2, there are many chapter 6 items. So see what I have done, look here. I have left this place also, and then note 1. My page size is small, so see this page I have left, next page I have left, next page also I have left. So for you can leave that side and another side and then directly go to the third side. That you can do. Note 1, income from salary. See, this is one more reason that I took chapter 6A at early stage. Right now, see, income from salary, income from other sources fresh. And in that fresh state, if we do chapter 6A right now, it goes very smoothly. Because you will not find the headache of salary right now. Your focus will be only on chapter 6A. See, the sequence of the chapter I have planned very wisely and smartly based on so many years of experience. Income from salary, ready? Fast. Income from salary, first point, basic salary, but you will have to gross up. Basic salary is 33,500. Add PF contribution, add profession tax, and all this is per month. So multiply by 12 months. Four four six 400. Then next is DA, entering into retirement benefits means DA in terms. Taxable 6,000 into 12, 72,000. We have to search in the question wherever we have written IFS. Search or salary items. Then we have employer's contribution to RPF. So this will first come in the inner column. How much it is? 4,500 into 12, 54,000. Then what is the formula for this? Exam up to 12% of dash plus dash plus dash. You should make 3 dash and then fill in the blanks. Basic DA in terms turnover commission. Basic DA in terms turnover commission. But see, here 12% comes to a bigger amount. So outer column dash fully exempt. See, some students do not understand this, See, exempt up to 12%. Up to means what? Up to 62,208 it is exempt. Up to. Up to means anything below that is exempt. So our amount of 54,000 is below that only. Have you failed the word up to? Exempt up to 12%. Means up to 62,208 it is exempt. And our sum is having 54,000 which is up to 62,000 only. So it becomes fully exempt. Then what else you have in salary? Interest. Interest, even that is exempt up to 9.5%. Up to. But ours is only 8%. So below 9.5 fully exempt. You can directly put dash in the outer column. In bracket you can write like this. See how I have written? Exempt up to 9.5%. And in the outer column dash. Then do we have anything else in salary? You have to check. See, you never know. The last point of the question can be a salary point. Anything can be salary. These are a mixed question. They will give the question in messed up manner. It will be given haywire. You have to search properly. So that's it. These are the only items. Now you can total up. Gross salary 518,400. See, while you are solving the sums in the class, you should consciously put an effort to do it fast. But keeping in mind the presentation should not be spoiled. But that speed factor should be reminded again and again. Because you know what I have noticed, see, you are not paying attention. Look, in exam, most of the students are not able to complete 100 marks. This you will not realize, soon you will realize that I am not able to complete the paper only. Most of the students leave 10 marks, 20 marks, 15 marks. Why? Because your speed is slow. So for that the solution is what? Your speed will not increase overnight. You have to practice in the class. Whether you are doing tax, accounts, anything in the class, when you are writing, put a conscious effort that I will do it fast. Practice will make you perfect. Standard deduction how much? 50,000. There was profession tax also, don't forget. 200 per month, so into 12. 2,400. So my answer is ready, huh? 4,66,000. This you can substitute in the main statement. Statement of total income. Understand the method properly because you will get many questions as homework on these lines. Then next note is for income from other sources. Note number 2, statement of income from other sources. Statement of income from other sources. Now in the question, search the marking of income from other sources. See, we have got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 items of EFOS. In our question, there are 4 items of EFOS. So first income from other source item is interest on deposit with Nelco Limited. Taxable. Amount is 24,000. Interest on deposit with Nelco 24,000 taxable. Then next is interest on post office savings bank account. This is exempt up to 3,500. Section is 1015. Remember, gold bonds, POSBA, PPF Sukanya. Gold bonds, POSBA, PPF Sukanya. And for gold bonds and POSBA 1015, PPF 1011, Sukanya 1011A. So write in the inner column less exempt under section 1015. 3,500, outer column 8,500. See this 8,500 which is included, this will get deducted later on in 80 TTA. 80 TTA is for what? Savings account interest, whether bank or post office. And this is savings account only. But in 80 TTA maximum 10. But if it is less, then you will take less only. But that will come later. I am just talking right now. It will not have the effect now. It will have the effect later. Then income from others. So this is done. This is done. Next is interest on NSE. This is taxable right now. 16,000. Even this we will have to take it later on in ATC. Remember, in ATC, interest on NSE is also eligible for deduction. Yes, so effect is coming twice, once here and later on it will also come in ATC. If you want, see, you can write with pencil like this. Look here, see what I am doing. With pencil you can write here. Just for your understanding. Just for your understanding, so that when you revise at home, all this will help you. See what I have written. This POSBA interest will be taken later in ATTTA and interest on NSC will be taken later in ATC. Then in income from other source we have family pension also. And in family pension there is a standard deduction. But what will you write when you take the deduction? Deduction under section 57. It was under section 57. Remember section 57 I gave you 5 points. Taxable income, deduct the expense. Exempt income, ignore the expense. Winnings, ignore the expense. Dividend, units income, deduct only one expense. Interest or loan, maximum 20%. And family pension, standard deduction. So it is section 57 only. That's it. This was the last item. One third or 15,000, whichever is less. Vehicle is a broad term. Yeah. So total of income from other sources 141,500. Done. So substitute this in the main statement. Wait. 141,500. Then the total of 5 heads is called what? Gross total income. So write like this with red pen. In exam we will not use red pen. This is just for making your notes better. Gross total income 6,07,500. Less deduction under chapter 6A. Deduction under chapter 6A. Okay, now see, one confusion which you will have is, sir, here in which order we should take these sections? See, there is no fixed order. You can take any section first, any section last. But 80GG, I will keep last. Why? Because for 80GG, I need adjusted gross total income. And remember, yesterday I had explained adjusted gross total income is after deducting everything except 80GG. So that I will keep it at the end. And wait, one more thing. Later on, one more section I will teach 80G. Even that you should keep it last. Why? I will explain later. But right now make a rule. 80GG and G, always take it at the end. And at the beginning what to take, you can take any. But I will prefer first always finish C, triple C, CCD1. Because that is done in a group. And then randomly you can go as per the question. Whichever comes first in the question, take it in the order. Okay. But still I am saying in the beginning you have to take 80C only. There is no hard and fast rule. This is just I prefer to finish first 80C, triple C, CCD1. Those 3 sections which we do together. It's better to finish that. Because that is an headache. All other sections are independent. Small section we can do it fast. In that also wait. In that C's, first you should take CCD 1B and 2. In short, what I want to say is that group of C you should finish first. The group of C section. That you can take later also, but I prefer to finish it first. And see, in this matter, I would remind you, this I had given once. Look, please follow this protocol. Look. First take 80 CCD 1B. So respect this rule. Check. Do we have 80 CCD 1B? 80 CCD 1B comes when there is pension scheme of central government, or they will write NPS, but that is not there in the question, so forget it. Then take 80 CCD 2, but that is also possible when employer contributes to NPS, but again in this question there is no NPS, so forget it. Then take the group of C, triple C, CCD 1. Okay. So let us take that, because in the question we have 80C, triple C, these sections are there. So take that first. And what is the way to present these section? This I have already taken in one question. How do we do C, triple C, CCD 1? First we will make a list and we will total up the list, compare with 1,50,000 which is less. So first you have to make the list of all the possible items of C, triple C, CCD 1. But in the list you have to take care of internal limits like life insurance premium, 20% of sum assured, sometimes 10% of sum assured, sometimes 15%, tuition fees of children maximum 2. So that internal limit you have to take care, and this way you have to prepare the list of all items of C, triple C, CCD 1. So start that. So see how I have done. You can also write like this. Use red pen. C, triple C, CCD 1. But before this I tried 80 CCD 1B, 80 CCD 2. But I could not find in the question. So I dropped that idea. No, here you don't worry. Just find in the question whatever items you can relate with 80 C, triple C, CCD 1. See, now the markings will be helpful. See, in 80C what we have at the beginning only we had. Just count how many items are. This one is there, then let us count all together. This is there, then 80s. I am searching what 80C, triple C. See, this was again 80C. Oh, sorry, here also it was the 80C. Then 80 triple C was there. Then. That's it. So these are the only items. So make a list of that. So what was the first in order? Employees contribution to RPF. Write that. See here how I have written. List you will make in the inner column. Then you will total up the list and compare it with 1,50,000 which is less. Employees contribution to RPF. How much it was there in the question? 3,500 is per month, so multiply by 12. 3,500 into 12, that comes to 42,000. Then we are searching 80C items. No, this is their interest on National Savings Certificate. Even this comes in 80C. Consider that interest on National Savings Certificate. Then in 80C we have deposit in PPF 30,000. Even this will come. Deposit in PPF. Then what else we have? 80 triple C contribution to pension scheme of LIC. See, pension scheme, pension fund, it's one in the same. Huh? Even this is taken in that same group of 80C, triple C, CCD1. Anything else? You do search in the question. C, triple C, CCD1. We didn't have CCD1. CCD1 is what? Pension scheme of central government. But here only balance will come because first 50,000 we take in CCD1B. But forget balance, we don't have only in the question. So that's it. So now what to do? Total up. What is the total? 1,38,000. Compare with the maximum limit of 1,50,000. So whichever is lower. See, this arrow means whichever is lower. Done? See, now you go randomly, you can take any section, but it's better to go from the top to bottom in the order of the question so that you don't make mistake. So I will go from top to bottom now. Search all 80 items. In first point, second point, not there, third, fourth, fifth. Yes, directly we find in point number 7, 80. See, and now I am going from top to the bottom in the order of the sum. So 80E we had. What will you write? Interest on loan for higher education. See, in the law they have written higher education. Higher means any education after grade 12. So see how I have written. Section number you write with red pen and then the particulars you can write with normal pen. 80E. Any section you can take up and down, that's okay. But I am going now as per the order of the sum. Interest on loan for higher education. What was the amount of interest? 24,000. And here there is no limit. Full interest is allowed, but for maximum 8 years. See, in tax, there is nothing great in this sum. You have to remember the theory. Once you know the theory, sum is just application of the theory. Then, what else we have? See, after 80E, we had in the question, see the next point only, 80 TTA. But in 80 TTA, this 12,000 from this already 3,500 is exempt. So what is remaining? 8,500. So we have only 8,500 and we can take maximum 10. But if it is less, take less. So how will you write? First write with red pen section 80 TTA. Section 80 TTA. And then you can write the nature of that item. What was that item? Interest on post office savings bank account. In the bracket you show your knowledge that I know there is a limit of maximum 10,000. But because in our question it is less, I have taken less only 8,500. 8,500 in outer column. Then go in the order of the sum. Next what we have? Then directly we have this 80 GGA. 80 GGA. Okay, we will take only 5,000. That other donation for research is not allowed because in cash. So see the presentation. See how I have written. Section 80 GGA. Then I have written both the donations. Donation for rural development. Donation for rural development 5,000. I have written short form, but you write full form. RD means rural development. And other was donation for research dash because it is in cash and cash is not allowed. Then what comes next? Next GGA we have done. We are going in the order of the sum. So next we find 80 DD. What is the heading of 80 DD? You know, treatment and maintenance of HDR. HDR means handicap dependent relative. Treatment and maintenance of HDR. So write the same heading. Means whatever is the name of the section you can write as it is. Otherwise don't worry much about the wordings. Wordings here and there is okay. Your amount should be properly placed. Here will you take 40,000? Here we don't see the actual amount spent. Flat deduction of 75,000. Treatment and maintenance of HDR. In bracket I have written sister. It's better to show that in our question who is handicapped? Sister. And for sister we have assumed she is dependent. Whenever problem is silent, make positive assumption that dependent. Then done this, next is ATD. Now for ATD you will have to make that whole format. Although there are only few items in the question. In fact only one thing is there, look, 22,000. You can do directly also. But that you do in exam. Right now for my sake you prepare the whole format. Which format I am talking about, you know, look. See here, after salary and income from other source statement, look. After income from other source statement, I have prepared that format. As note number 3. What was note 2? Income from other sources. After that you prepare this. I repeat, it is not necessary to do in detail in exam. You can do it directly. But see, when you are studying at home, you need to understand how it was done. And this will help you in understanding. See, this was a format. First we do for own, spouse, dependent children. See here there are 2 rupees column. In exam you will not write the word junior citizen. You can write others. See here I have written basic deduction for senior / others. Others means other than senior. Junior will sound funny, it is my word. Between us it is okay. But in exam it doesn't suit. What is this MIP? Mediclaim insurance premium, central government health scheme, and preventive health checkup. Ready? See, first you will fill this upper part, for which you will ignore the information of parents right now. Just take own spouse and dependent children. Whatever it is given, whether medical premium, central government health scheme, preventive health checkup, anything, just add all the eligible amounts of own spouse and children. So check in our question, we have amount of 22,000 for own health. Then that's it. We don't have anything. But here also, what is the way to do? First, you have to take additional deduction if there is a senior citizen. But senior from own spouse and children. But here no one is senior citizen. So no senior citizen, so this will become 0. So against the additional deduction, what you will write? 0 or nil. So where will this go then? Premium of herself. This will go in basic deduction. Because in basic deduction, whether you are senior, junior, age no bar, everything is allowed. So 22,000 you can take. But wait, what is the limit in basic? Maximum 25, maximum. But if it is less, you can take less. So it is less. How much it is? 22,000. So I will take 22,000 only. See, I have taken here. Wait, a printing mistake. Basic deduction 22,000. Okay. Then next I will search this. See, I always go as per my format. I don't go as per sum. What I require, I will search in the question. I want this now. Medical expenditure uninsured senior citizen. Now I will check. Is it there in the question? It's not there. So nil. Even this becomes nil. And total of these three amounts. What is the rule? Total of these three should not be more than 50,000. So here it is only 22,000. So 22,000 is allowed. Less is allowed. It cannot be more. Then for parents, see, in our question in parents, we had only mother's medical treatment uninsured, but she is not senior citizen. So this was disqualified. So we don't have anything in parents. So whole parents area will be 0. Everything is nil. I know you are finding tedious to do it when nothing is there. Why to prepare such big note? But this is just in the class we are doing, so that it gives you a good practice. In exam you can take directly 22,000. Means this working you can do mentally in your mind. So it is 22,000. So come here, see section 80D, Mediclaim insurance premium, note number 3. 22,000. As per note 3, it comes to 22,000. 22,000. See, in exam, hardly in one question, 2 or 3 sections will come of chapter 6A. See, these are my customized question. I have created a question in such a way that at this stage, I want to cover up your salary income from other source again. So I took few points of salary income from other source, and whatever sections I have done till now, that should come here in this question. So these are my customized question. But don't think that this kind of question will not come. It will be of this kind only. But it will not be that lengthy. In a question, at the most 2-3 deductions you will find. And here see, multiple deductions are there. Anyway, so next is what? 80D is done. Then 80GG. 80GG you should take always at the end. But we are at the end only now. Everything is over. So now tell me, when everything is over, only 80GG is left. The answer is called adjusted GTI. At this stage, the answer which you get is called adjusted GTI. At what stage? When everything is done, only 80GG is pending. Wait, for formality you can write this. You can also write a note for this. For what? I am talking about 80 double EB. Double EB just for the sake of formality. Because see, if you don't write here, you will have to write a note. You cannot directly ignore and move on. Why did you ignore? You have to explain. See, I have written in bracket, not allowed because loan taken from employer. Alternatively, you can write a note, but it's better you finish here only. Interest on loan. This is interest on loan for electric vehicle. Then your answer is called adjusted GTI. Before deduction it was GTI, but after deduction it will become adjusted GTI. Use the same color combination as I have done. Now we are left with only one thing, 80GG. But for 80GG we will have to prepare a working note. Why? Because there is a formula 1, 2, 3, whichever is less. So you can write like this. ATGG deduction for rent paid. Deduction for rent paid. Note number 4. You will have to show the working. Without working, you won't get marks. So see note 4. Deduction under section 80GG. So tell me what is the first amount? 25% of AGTI. And we have AGTI ready with us. AGTI is 3 lakhs 35,000. So calculate 25% of that. 25% of AGTI, adjusted gross today income. So that 25% comes to 83,750. Second amount, 5,000 per month. That is a fixed amount. 5,000 per month. Remember or not? So 5,000 into 12, 60,000. Then rent paid minus 10% of AGTI. Check the rent paid. See here it is given, she stays in a rented house, rent of which is 18,000 per month. So rent paid is 18,000 per month. So 18,000 per month multiplied by 12. So that's our rent paid. Minus 10% of AGTI. Out of the three amounts, whichever is less. So what is less? 60,000. Put that amount in box. The amount which you select, you should put it in box. 60,000. Shift this in the main answer. ATGG 60,000. Done. Tell me, what do you do with this net taxable income? On this you have to apply tax percentages. And our next chapter is that only. What are the different rates of tax? After that we will do income from business. Understood my plan? So next chapter will be calculation of tax. Means on this net taxable income, how do you calculate the tax? Means the rate of tax. And then the next chapter will be income from business. Done this thing? Okay, now continuing further. Look, what is the status now our? In chapter 6 say what is our status? This is done. Check fast. This is done. This is also done. This is not done yet. ATG is there. So I'll do one thing. I'll finish ATG right now. ATG is a big section, but not tough section. But this is treated as a big section. ATG. ATG is for donations. Already these sections were for donations. But what is the difference? ATGGA is donation for rural development and research. GGB, GGC is political party and electoral trust. So ATG is also for donation, but these are other donations. And here there is a big list of donations. And that big list you will have to remember. Anything comes from this big list, ATG. Okay. So see what is that big list. In fact, there are two lists. List of unlimited donations, list of limited donations. Unlimited means what you know? In this list of donation, how much ever you donate, government will not limit you. You want to donate 1 crore, donate 1 crore. It is your money. You want to donate 10 crores, donate 10 crores. Government will not limit you. But deduction will be 50% if it is this donation. There is no limit, means you donate 10 crores, but deduction will be 50% or 10 crores. No one donates that much. It's just an example. I'm exaggerating just to show unlimited. Means there is no limit on how much you want to donate. But percentage will be 50% only. What is you 50%? Unlimited 50%. But for all these donations, firstly there is no limit, and whatever you donate, 100% of that will be allowed as deduction. But after this there is another list. Here you can donate up to a limit only. What is that limit? I will tell you. But there is a limit up to which you can donate. And that too, 50% of the limited amount you will get if you are donated here. And if you are donated here, 100% of the limited amount. What do you mean by L100, L50? Limited means first you have to stay in limit. You have to give donation up to a limit. And from limit, 100%. And here, 50% of the limit. But what is that limit? I will come to that later. See, initially our objective is what you know. Remember the name of the donation. Right now, please don't go into the calculation aspect. In fact, there is no big deal in calculation. Especially here, there is nothing like calculation. Whatever is the given amount, take 50% here and take 100% for these donation. Yes, here there is some complicated calculation. This list looks smaller, but the calculation is typical because of that limit. Anyways, right now don't go into that limit. Let's finish the unlimited donations first. Okay. So now see in the list. Firstly, how will you pronounce this? Panek Zalma GS. Pronunciation is like this only. Panek. Panek. Zalma. GS. Panek Zalma GS. And this is called FO Chamat. How do you pronounce CHMT? Chamat. It's not literally the spelling of Chamat. Chamat is a Hindi slang for slap. Okay. So CHMT, but CHMT cannot be pronounced properly. CHMT, Chamat sounds better. So this is FO Chamat, and here Panek Zalma GS. Now in Panek, P stands for Prime Minister Drought Relief Fund. You know, drought means what? Dry areas. You know, there are many places in India, there is no water and the land is so dry. Have you seen a dry land? You will find the cracks also on the land. And that is because of dryness. And dryness is a dangerous thing. And there are people who stay in drought areas. Drought means dry areas. So for the relief of such people, government is collecting donation. And the name of the donation is Prime Minister Drought Relief Fund. And you know why do they collect in the name of Prime Minister? People will feel it is authentic. Otherwise, many times anyone will come to you, give donation, we will do good, we will do good. We don't trust them only. See, many times on the road also, when I am driving my car, a beggar comes. We don't trust them. We feel they are not genuine people. We don't feel like giving donation because of the lack of the trust. Everyone has the feeling of helping. But sometimes we don't help because we don't believe that other person. Many students ask me, sir, give me free lectures, free video lectures. I have some financial problem. I feel like giving. But then because of trust factor. But here, because the word Prime Minister is there, it has a weightage. So people will trust. You can blindly give the donation. Your money will not go waste. Prime Minister has committed that. But your money will be used for what? Drought areas. Drought means dry areas. So first donation is done, Prime Minister Drought Relief Fund. See, this D stands for, how do you spell drought? Drought. Don't say drought, okay? Prime Minister Drought Relief Fund, Prime Minister Drought Relief Fund, okay. Then there are 4 more donations starting with Prime Minister. Can you see PM, can't, CANT, all starting with Prime Minister. Prime Minister can't. In fact, our Prime Minister can. But our keyword says Prime Minister can't. Now in can't, C stands for, there are 4 donations. Try to memorize along with me only. Huh? So first C stands for PM Cares Fund. This is full form of what? In can't, can you see the first alphabet C? C for Cares Fund. Even Cares is a short form. For what you know? Pay attention. Prime Minister Citizens Assistance Assistance and Relief in Emergency Situation. Assistance and relief. Assistance and relief. Assistance will help. Assistance and relief in emergency situation. But for whom? Citizens. Who are citizens of India. So in CARES, C stands for citizens. Then assistance and relief in emergency situation. For that there is a fund. See, sometimes there is emergency, like COVID was an emergency, okay. So for that they are creating donations. So anytime emergency can arise in our country. So for that they are collecting donation, and if you give donation, you will get deduction under section 80G. And what was the name of the donation? PM Cares Fund. CARES is a short form. Tell me the full form once again. Prime Minister Citizens Assistance and Relief in Emergency Situation. Means 2 things, assistance and relief in emergency situation. So this was C. Then in can't, next is A. Prime Minister Armenia Earthquake Relief Fund. Armenia Earthquake Relief Fund. Armenia is a place in Russia. Armenia is a place in Russia. So long back in Russia, there was a big earthquake in a place called Armenia. It is a place in Russia only. And you know, whenever earthquake takes place in a particular area, we become alert, because earthquake is related to earth and earth is located there only. See, one time earth has quaked, it can quack for the other time also. So for that we are prepared and we are collecting donation. See, although Russia earthquake, that was one last event in Armenia long back. But we are worried, what if once again there is earthquake in Armenia? See, we are collecting for that place only. What is the name of the donation? Prime Minister Armenia Earthquake Relief Fund. So Armenia is a place where earthquake took place. Now there is no earthquake, but we feel scared. What if there is earthquake once again? Because the earth of Russia is there only still. The land is sensitive to earthquake. See, earthquake is connected with the land. So once there is an earthquake in Russia, so we feel the land of Russia is sensitive. It is vulnerable to earthquake. So what if there is an earthquake? So for that we are collecting the donation, so that in future once again if there is an earthquake in Russia, the money can be used. Now you might be wondering that we are worried about Russia so much. Why not for India? For India also there are many donations. Like in Gujarat, there was a big earthquake. I don't know whether you were born that time or not, but in Gujarat there was earthquake. So for Gujarat there is a fund. See, can you see last G? Gujarat Earthquake Relief Fund. In short, see, what is the policy of government? You know, once there is an earthquake in a place, we keep collecting donation for that place, because that place is there only. What if their earthquake comes once again? So for that we are preparing ourselves by collecting the money. If you don't want to give money, don't give. But government wants to be prepared, because we will not wait for the earthquake to happen once again. Because once the land is having a crack, it can have a crack once again. We never know. Okay. Like Gujarat is very safe now. But still we always worry. What if there is an earthquake in Gujarat once again? So if we wait for the earthquake and then we try to collect donation, it will be too late. So we are trying to be preparing ourselves in advance. Okay. Anyways, that Gujarat earthquake fund will come later on. Why I suddenly came to Gujarat? Because students might be wondering that we are worried about Russia so much. We are not worried about India. We are also worried about India. But see, as a neighboring country, it is our duty that if there is earthquake in some foreign country also, we should help them whatever we can. But government of India can help only when people of India will donate. And people of India, if they want to donate, you will get deduction under section 80G. Prime Minister can't. What was C? PM Cares Fund. A for Armenia Earthquake Relief Fund. Then N stands for Prime Minister National Relief Fund. National relief means for the relief of the whole nation. This is a general donation. This is not dedicated for a particular activity like drought, earthquake. General donation in the name of Prime Minister National Relief Fund. Then T stands for tsunami. You know the spelling of tsunami is T-S-U-N-A-M-I. It is not T tsunami, it's tsunami. But T is silent. Okay. So Prime Minister Tsunami Relief Fund. You know there was a big tsunami in South. And because, I don't know, you were not born that time. But there was tsunami means it is, the sea gets wild. The sea, we nicely go to the beaches and enjoy the beach. But you never know that ocean and the sea, sometimes it gets so wild, the whole water comes on the land. And the houses of people are damaged and destroyed. It had happened in India long back in South. Okay. So once tsunami had taken place, so we are alert that what if that tsunami comes once again? So for that we are collecting the donation. Okay. So that is T. So tell me how many donations start with Prime Minister? No, 5. In the name of Prime Minister there are 5 donations, but one is eligible for 50%. Other 4 are eligible for 100% deduction. So name. Prime Minister Drought Relief Fund, Prime Minister Cares Fund, Cares, PM Cares Fund, then Prime Minister Armenia Earthquake Relief Fund. Armenia is a place in Russia. Then Prime Minister National Relief Fund, Prime Minister Tsunami Relief Fund. And see, don't worry much. By looking at the word Prime Minister, you will be reminded, yes, ATG. See, right now while I am explaining the full form, you will be worried that so much you will have to study. See, you just have to remember the main words. Prime Minister, Tsunami, Armenia. By these key words, once you are able to identify it is ATG, our job is over. This is not going to come as a theory question. Write the list of all donation. This is useful for sums. And for sums, 1 or 2 keywords are sufficient to make us realize it is ATG. So you also focus mainly on the keywords. See, you should have a doubt, sir, why 50% here? Because India is not suffering mainly from drought. Yes, there are some places suffering from dryness, but that is not a big problem in India. That's why government is not giving much importance to that. Government says indirectly what it is better you donate here. Still, if you want to donate for drought, most welcome. But you will get only 50%. Purposely they have kept less deduction so that you will give less preference to that and more preference to other donations. Because the other donations are more important for the country. See, I am not saying this donation is not important. But India is not having that major problem of drought. See, we have Rajasthan, Gujarat. There is dryness, but it is not that serious dryness where people are dying. Okay. So since this is not a major problem in India, that's why we have not given more importance and emphasis to this donation. That's why only 50%. But rest all donations are most important for the country. That's why 100%. Then next, after P, what was the keyword? Panic. In Panik, A stands for Africa. Public contributions India fund. What is the name? Africa Public Contributions India Fund. Means in Africa there are some places where people are suffering. See, we think Africa is a foreign country. Yes, Africa is amazing foreign country, but Africa is also so big. And in some places of Africa, people are literally starving. They are suffering like hell. So for their benefit, our India is collecting money. Public of India contributing for the benefit of Africa. So if anyone is interested in giving donation for that, you are most welcome. You will get deduction under 80G. See, India has to prove that we don't care for ourselves only. We care for our neighboring countries also. And see, for yourself, everyone takes care, but you should also take care of the other countries. So in other countries, we are taking care of Armenia in Russia, Africa, people suffering, for them also we are collecting donations. Some people say, I don't want to donate here. Don't donate, it's your money. But if you donate, you will get deduction of 100% under section 80G. Then, next alphabet is N. Now there are all donations starting with the word national. And donation starting with the word national means what, you know? Central government is collecting the donation. That improves the authenticity of that. Right now only I said sometimes we don't trust only people asking for donation. But when the word national comes, it means who is collecting donation? Central government. So it is authentic. And there are how many donations? Look, 8. 8 donation all starting with national. So look at my hand and try to understand. National, 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 national. CBISTD. But there are 2 C's and 2 D's. So see, did you see CBISTD what I am saying? CBISTD. Remember like CBISTD, CBISTD, CBISTD. C stands for National Children Fund. Benefit of the children in India. National Children Fund. The National Fund for Communal Harmony. Communal Harmony. You know, communism means riots. You know, sometimes there is riots, Hindu, Muslim, etc. Some riots are there, and because of riots, people, houses get destroyed. And to bring peace in communism, we are collecting donation. See, nowadays we see less riots, but there was a time where frequently riots were there. Riots, I hope you understand what I am saying, riots. In Hindi we call danga fasad, danga, dange. Okay. So riots is called communism. See, whenever there is communism, communism is Hindu community, Muslim community, communism, that fight, that riots. For that we are collecting donation. Not to do riots, to bring peace in riots. What was the name, you know? National Foundation for Communal Harmony. There were 2 C's. Children, communal harmony. Children, communal harmony. 2 C's. One was children, other is communal harmony. Remember the main words. Then blood transfusion. National Blood Transfusion Council. National Blood Transfusion Council. Blood, blood, blood. Then CBI. Illness. National Illness Assistance Fund. You focus on the main word. CBI. What were the 2 C's? Children, communal harmony, blood, illness. Children, communal harmony, blood, illness. Then sports technology defense. Sports technology defense. Another is, one more D is there. Control of drug abuse. Control of drug abuse. You know, drug abuse means you misuse the drugs. Actually, drug if properly used becomes a medicine. But if the drugs are misused, it becomes an addiction. You become drug addict. So see, when we say drug abuse means what? There are people, see, people who take drugs, actually they are taking medicines only. We also consume drugs in cough syrup. When we get cough, you take cough syrup, it has a drug, but we don't misuse it. We have in limited quantity. But if you increase the quantity of drugs, that means you're misusing. And because of that, people get addicted to drugs. We want to control that. So that's why it's called control of drug abuse. Abuse means misuse of the drugs. Then next, E stands for educational institution. E for education institution of national eminence. National eminence. Eminence means importance. There are certain education institutions which are of national importance, like ICAI, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, ICSI, Institute of Company Secretaries of India, IIT, IIM, any institute of education, any institute of national importance which is education institution. You can give donation there also for ATG deduction, okay. Then C stands for Prime Minister, C stands for Chief Minister. Maharashtra Chief Minister Earthquake Relief Fund, other is Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Cyclone Relief Fund. Chief Minister. One is for Maharashtra Chief Minister Earthquake Relief Fund, other is Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Cyclone Relief Fund. Okay, you can just remember the word Chief Minister. Okay, then Z stands for Zilla Saksharta Samiti. Zilla Saksharta Samiti. Now here Zilla means village, Saksharta means education, and Samiti is sort of a committee who is engaged in promoting village education. So if there is a committee who is engaged in promoting village education, if you give donation to them, even that is allowed. But see, in exam if you write, you have to write in this Hindi word only. These are Hindi words, Zilla Saksharta Samiti. Okay. Then L stands for Lieutenant Governor's Relief Fund. You know what is Lieutenant Governor? Lieutenant Governor is the head of Union Territory. You know what is Union Territory? In India, most of the parts of India are divided into states. Maharashtra, Gujarat, Rajasthan, etc. There are various states. But there are some places like Andaman Nicobar, Daman Diu, Pondicherry. They are not treated as states. They are called Union Territories. And Union Territories is not headed by a Chief Minister. It is headed by Lieutenant Governor. See, in a state, the head is Chief Minister. For the country, the head is Prime Minister. But for the state, it is Chief Minister. But for Union Territories, like Andaman Nicobar, Daman Diu, etc., there the head is called Lieutenant Governor. And Lieutenant Governor Relief Fund is a fund collected for the benefit of that area. Like Andaman Nicobar is a risky area. That is a small land surrounded by big ocean. So it is risky. It is vulnerable to any hazard. So they collect donation for the benefit of Andaman Nicobar. Okay. So that is called Lieutenant Governor Relief Fund. See, Andaman Nicobar is just an example. Lieutenant Governor, wherever he is heading, whether it is Andaman Nicobar, Pondicherry, he is collecting donation for his area. And if you give donation to him, then also deduction will be allowed. So that was L, Lieutenant Governor's Relief Fund. Then M stands for State Fund for Medical Relief to Poor. Means to poor we want to provide medical relief. But for that you have to give donation to state government only. If you give donation to anyone else, then deduction is not allowed. You have to give donation to state government. That's why it is called State Fund for Medical Relief to Poor. Then A stands for Army, Air Force, Navy. Actually there are three donations. One is called Army Central Welfare Fund, Air Force Central Welfare Fund, then Indian Naval Benevolent Fund. See, it is like this: Indian Naval. Naval means related to Navy, and benevolent means for the benefit of Indian Navy. So Indian Naval Benevolent Fund is a fund for the benefit of Indian Navy. See, you don't have to remember the exact words. You just remember Army, Air Force, Navy related fund. If it comes in exam, you will get deduction under ATG. So that was A. A for Army, Air Force, Navy. Then G stands for Gujarat Earthquake Relief Fund. That I have already said. G for Gujarat Earthquake Relief Fund. Another G stands for Clean Ganga Fund. Clean Ganga Fund. Means this fund is collected so that our Ganga river, which is holy river, in Hindu religion we treat Ganga river is the most holy river, and this river has become polluted. You know, people have literally polluted the river Ganga. So our prime minister wants that we should clean Ganga on regular basis. But to clean the Ganga, we need money. For that, they are collecting donation, which is in the name of Clean Ganga Fund. Okay, Ganga is the river. I hope you know that. Okay. Then S stands for Swachh Bharat Kosh. This is the Hindi word. Swachh means cleanliness. Bharat means India. So for cleanliness in India, we are collecting fund, and that fund is called Kosh. See, this word is a Hindi word. Actually, it means fund. It's a fund for cleanliness in India. It is called Swachh Bharat Kosh. Okay. So these are all unlimited donation. See, you just remember the keywords. By looking at the word, you can identify. And once you come to know the donation is from this list, you will get deduction. And all are 100%. Except this Prime Minister Drought Relief Fund, which is 50%. Rest all are 100% deduction. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Yes. That G was Gujarat Earthquake Relief Fund. That I said. Okay. So this is list of unlimited donation. Unlimited means there is no limit on the amount to be donated. If you want, you can donate in crores. But deduction will be 100% for Panik Zalma GS and 50% for Prime Minister Drought Relief Fund. Okay. Then there is another list of limited donation. Limited means here you can donate up to a limit only. But up to what limit you can donate, I will explain the limit later on. Right now my objective is to make you understand which donations will qualify in limited category. What is the limit? After some time I will explain. Okay. So in limited category there are 6 donations. Can you see the keyword FOCHMT? I pronounce it like FO Chamat. This CHMT can be pronounced as Chamat. FO Chamat. Now in this FO Chamat, F stands for donation for family planning. Here you can donate up to a limit. But what is the limit? What did I say? I will explain after some time. Right now you just remember the name. If you give donation for promoting family planning in India, you will get deduction under 80G. But it will be subject to a limit. Okay. See, actually exact wording of family planning is what you know. Donation to state government, local authority or any approved institution for promoting family planning. But you are not required to remember the wordings as it is. This is not a theory question which is going to come in exam. You have to just solve this sum. So by looking at the word family planning in the question, you will be able to make out that it is a donation of 80G. Then after family planning donation, next is O, Indian Olympic Association. Means there is a donation for creating fund for Olympic Games. That is called Indian Olympic Association. But these donations are allowed only for companies. So for CA inter student it is not relevant. Means donation to Indian Olympic Association, it is allowed as deduction only for companies. Companies mean joint stock company like Reliance etc. In our syllabus of CA inter, we are solving the question of an individual. We will not be asked to solve a question of a company. But just for the sake of knowledge, remember there is one donation called Indian Olympic Association, but there only companies will get a deduction. Okay. So for us it is as good as not there only. Main is family planning. Then look, Chamat. In Chamat, C stands for donation for charitable purpose. Charitable purpose. Okay. H, Housing Development Authorities. Housing Development Authorities. You know, these are state bodies. Their objective is what you know? To construct houses which are at affordable price. Like Mahada. Have you heard about Mahada in Maharashtra? This is a housing development authority, and the objective of Mahada is what? To construct house and sell at a cheaper price, where people can afford to purchase a house. Nowadays, buying a house has become a dream because the houses are so costly. But what do this housing development authority do? They construct house at a lower cost, sell it at a lower price. so that everyone can afford houses. But they need donations. So give donation and get deduction under 80G. So what was this H? Housing Development Authorities. See, whether it is Maharashtra Housing Development Authority, it can be Andhra Pradesh Housing Development Authority, it can be Gujarat also. In every state there is some Housing Development Authority. These are state bodies, state bodies. Then M, minority community. What is minority community? Any community? No, that is the caste. Community means any community other than Hindu is all minority. Hindu in India is a majority community. So Muslims, Parsi, Sikh, these are different communities and they are in majority or minority. They are in majority or minority, minority. So they are called minority community. So for example, if Parsis community is formed, means they are collecting donations for the welfare of Parsi people. Or some Muslim community is there. They are collecting donation for the welfare of Muslim people. So you can give donation there. Because see, normally minority community might get neglected. So they want to collect fund for their welfare. So you give donation, you will get deduction. So any donation which is there for the benefit of minority community, whether the community is Muslim, Sikh, Parsi, whatever, it is allowed. Then T stands for temples, church, mosque, gurudwara, historical places. I said 5 places. Temples, you know temples, church, mosque. Mosque, how do you spell mosque? Mosque means we say masjid. Means it is a place where Muslim community will worship. Okay, mosque. Mosque is a proper term. We say masjid, okay. But it is a place where Muslim people worship, okay. So tell me which places I said. Temples, church, mosque, gurudwara. Gurudwara is a place of worship of Sikh people, okay. And then historical places. You have to give donation for the repairs of these areas. Means if some temple, for example Tirupati Balaji, it is a famous temple. If that temple is getting repaired and renovated, you give donation, you will get deduction. But it is only at the time of repairs. For example, if you go to Tirupati Balaji and you donate there 500 rupees, God please make me pass in this attempt only. Such donation is not allowed. There is a donation box also where you donate and you pray, please make me pass in first attempt only. Such donations are not allowed. It is only when repairing work is going on, renovation. Then if you give donation, you will get deduction. And you know what is the logic? Because these temples, church, mosque, these are the places of tourism. Tourists visit here. But because tourists are visiting, don't you think we have to maintain these places? Like many tourists visit Tirupati Balaji. They have got zero idea about the God in Tirupati, but still as a tourist place, foreigners also visit there. So because it is a tourist attraction, we should maintain this. This is the pride of India. That's why donation not to any temple, only those which are notified. Notified means all famous temples. Like in South Tirupati Balaji, in Mumbai we have got Siddhi Vinayak. This way there are many like Golden Temple in Amritsar. So there are some famous temples and not just temples. It can be temple, church, mosque, gurudwara and not just worship areas. It can be historical places like Taj Mahal, Qutub Minar, Red Fort, any tourist attraction. If these places are being renovated, that time if you give donation, you will get deduction. See, this donation is not to encourage religion. This is for tourism. Because our tourism will be promoted when these areas are maintained. And for maintenance, we require repairing. And for that, we need money. And you give donation, you will get deduction. So see what to remember. Temples, church, mosque, gurudwara, historical places. These should be notified. Notified means only which government has notified. Now you don't have to remember in whole India which temples are notified. They will give in the question. Just for knowledge I am saying. Because temples you will find many. Near my house only there are 10 temples. But these temples are not notified, only famous temples and church and etc. And that too donation should be given for repairs and renovation, then only deduction will be allowed. FO Chamat is done. What was F? Donation for family planning. Then Indian Olympic Association. Donation for charitable purpose. Housing Development Authorities. Minority community. Temples, church, mosque, gurudwara, historical places. But only notified temples, mosque, gurudwara, historical places, and that too donation should be given for repairs and renovation. As if the problem is silent, they say donation to temple. We can assume it is for repairs. We can assume it is for repairs. But now see, in this much our whole section is not over. Huh? Now we have to understand what? What is the limit over here? See, this list was big, but actually it is very simple. When you start solving some, you will find this is nothing. Because here you don't have to remember anything. See, although the list is big, but once you read twice, thrice, you can identify in the question. Now suddenly if a question comes with Zilla Sakshata Samiti, you can make out, yes, sir has taught this thing. 100%. And almost all are 100%. Except one Prime Minister Drought Relief Fund. So in short, although this was a big list, I took more time to explain. But this is simple for a student. For a student, this will be little tricky because here you have to remember the limit. Tricky means it's not that tough, but you have to be careful. Because firstly you have to remember the limit, that up to what limit you can donate. So see what is the limit. I have taken one example here. Here I have taken any amounts of my choice. My purpose is to explain this thing with a sum. Because if I try to orally explain, it will go bouncer. If I explain with the help of a question, it will be very simple for you to understand. So see, I have created one example for you. Assume someone has got salary income 0. House property income 5 lakhs. These are random amounts given by me. Assume someone has house property income 5 lakhs, business income of, and this way he has got gross total income of 8 lakhs. Then all the deductions has given him, all these sections have given him 1,50,000 deduction. Whether it is 80C, 80U, whatever. All means all. Everything except 80G. Okay. At this stage you get AGTI. And AGTI will be after everything, but not 80G. Now, I know what doubt will come to your mind, but have patience. This 6,50,000, this is just my figure. Of this, maximum 10%. This is the limit up till which you can donate. See, when I say limited category, means there is a limit on how much you can donate. So, how much you can donate? Maximum 10% of my income. Feel on you means whatever is my income. See, every person has got different size of income. Some people earn more, some people earn less. So, whatever is my income, 10% of my income I can donate. But if I say no, I will donate more, donate, but it is waste. For deduction purpose, we allow only 10% of your income. And income is which income? Adjusted gross total income. And adjusted gross total income is GTI minus all deduction except 80G. Now tell me what doubt you will have. Recently in section 80GG, there was one more section 80GG for rent paid. There what did I say? That when you are calculating 80GG, keep 80GG at the end. Minus everything. And then what you get, that is AGTI, 25% of that, 5,000 per month, rent paid minus 10%, remember? But this section says what you know? This means which section? This section says, here also you will have to find out AGTI, But here AGTI means minus everything but not ATG. So the problem will arise when when in one question you have got ATG also and GG also. Imagine a question, create a question in your mind. Today we solved a question only, see this question. In this question we had GG. GG was there, GG. Imagine there was G also. Then what will happen? Because our protocol is what? If there is GG, we'll keep GG at the end and we'll finish everything. So finish everything, we should finish ATG also. Finish G also, so that only ATGG is left. But then if you want to finish G, what ATG says? What ATG says? That you minus everything but not G. So in short, there is a confusion that what to keep pending, ATGG or G. Because GG says keep GG pending minus everything. And G says keep G pending minus everything. So such situation can be solved with the help of max. Let this be X, let this be Y. You will have to create simultaneous equation. And then you will have to solve. But such thing will never come in the exam. They are not testing your maths. They are testing your tax. What they say? They are not testing your maths. They are testing your tax. So they will not create a situation like this. But I am not saying it is impossible in real life. It is possible. But then to solve such situation, it creates a complication. And the objective of ICI is what to test your knowledge of various sections. They will not create a mathematical complicacy. And why this is creating mathematical complicacy? Because in ATGG we say keep ATGG pending and minus everything. In everything you should minus G also. And on the other hand ATG also says keep ATG pending, minus everything. So the problem is what then what to do? So in such case actually we have to do by X and Y method. Let this deduction be X, let this be Y, and then we have to create a simultaneous equation. But such things will not come. Let's not waste our time in that. Okay, trust me, whether you see ICA study material or any past paper or exam, till now, if in the question, if there is ATG, there is no GG. If there is GG, there is no G. Both the sections coming together, practically they will not give you. Okay. In real life it is possible, but real life we donate little bit amount only. See, government has put a limit. Maximum 10% of AGTI you can donate. But no one donates that much. See, while solving the sum we can think, what if I donate so much? Be practical, no one gives that much donation. You ask yourself, have you ever thought of giving donation in these areas? Rarely. At the most, if we feel like donating, we go to some temple and we go to some trust or poor people. But such donation we practically give. I am not saying impossible, but we give less only. So it is automatically in the limit. See, problem arises when if you donate so much, so we have to see how much will be considered as per the limit. But in practical life, people give within the limit only. And we can take rough idea also. See, roughly I know what is my limit here. Around 60,000 I can donate. So in practical life, this problem will never arise because you get a judgment. Let's assume this is my statement of income, mine. So and I know that my income is going to be 6,50,000. So I get an idea that I will donate around 50,000, 60,000. So actual life donations are little lower side only. And when people are giving donation, they make some rough calculation like this. In fact, even I have tried donation to this charitable trust once. I wanted to save my tax. So I tried this donation once. So I did this rough calculation first. Roughly I saw, in my case anyway, there was no ATGG. ATGG is for not having house. I have my own house. But I did this rough calculation and I came to know, okay, round about 6,50,000, so around 10%, this much I can donate. And why do we do rough calculation? Because there is no point in giving so much donation when it will not be allowed only. In this, a person can get a rough idea. Is there a point in giving 2 lakhs donation in this case? 10% comes to what? 65,000. So you get a rough idea in real life. In short, in real life, it is never a headache. But in a student life, they will not create the headache because it will require knowledge of maths. Okay. So in short, firstly, remove that thought from your mind that, sir, what if in the question 80 G also comes and GG also comes? Both will not come. Trust me. You can scan all past papers, study material. You will not find any such question. Either in a question there will be GG or G. So remove that thought from your mind. Now let us continue ahead. So tell me, in my example, what is AGTI? 6,50,000. So maximum 10% I can donate to FO Chamat. Limit is for FO Chamat only. So, and see, limit is for all donations together. Whether you want to donate to F, O, C, H, M, T, wherever you want, maximum you can donate how much? 10% of AGTI. And that depends upon the question. In our question, it is 6,50,000. So 10% is what? 65,000. Okay. So this is the limit. Now imagine the question. Look, in the question they have given 20,000 was donated for family planning. 80,000 was donated to charitable, housing development authority, minority community, temple. Let's assume all this taken together, we had given donation of 80,000. See, don't think how did I get this amount. It will be given in the question. So the actual donation in the question is 20, 80, total is 1 lakh. Means I have given 1 lakh donation. But how much I can give? I can give only 65,000. So there is a limit. So but I will say no, I have donated 1 lakh. So stay in the limit. In Hindi word ऐसे कम हो तो कम लो, ज़्यादा हो तो लिमिट में रहो. Here it is more. 1 lakh is too much. The limit is only 65. So you do stick to 65 only. But what if this total, look this total was only 10,000. 10,000. In short, whichever is less. See, whenever there is a limit, we can make a formula whichever is less. So see what I have done here. Look. Total of this is how much? 1 lakh. Compare with the limit. How did I get 65,000? 10% of AGTI. This is a fixed rule. By heart, this 10% of AGTI. This is the maximum donation you can do in FO Chamat category. So now tell me how much is eligible? 65,000 only. But I have not yet done this 150%. Now I will apply the percentage. See, when I took this 20,000, look, and 80,000, I took the full amount. See, at the beginning you should not find 150. See, what do you mean by L50? 50% of the limit. L50. 50% of the limit. So first you have to come in the limit. That's why these figures when I wrote, I didn't apply 150%. Did I do that? These are the exact amount given in the question. So in short, first take the amount given in the question as it is. Don't worry about 100 or 50. That 150 thought will come when you come into the limit. So see, now I am in the limit. So now I want to apply 100%, 50%. But what should I do? Should I apply 100% on this? Or should I apply 50% on this? Or should I use both the percent? I will use both the percent because I have done donation to F also and Chamat also. See, I hope you have seen this percentage. For family planning, Indian Olympic, it is 100%. And for Chamat, it is 50%. So now tell me, see, if I would have taken a question where there was no family planning donation, imagine if I would have taken question where there was no family planning donation, everything was chamat, chamat, chamat only. Then it is simple. Then whatever answer I got, I would have taken 50%. That's it, over. But I purposely took a sum where there is some family planning also and there is some chamat also. Because for family planning the percentage is 100 and for chamat this is 50. So apply common sense. What will you do? No ratio. See, students will think what you know that 65,000 you can divide in 20-80 ratio. Wait. Respect this point because this is the usual thing a student will think. Because see, 20,000 and 80,000 is the ratio, but don't do in ratio. You should do in such a way where you get the maximum deduction. And see, it is my money I have donated. I want to optimize and make the best use of it. Best use means I should get the maximum deduction. So tell me, which donation will give me maximum deduction? Family planning donation or chamat donations? Obviously, family planning donation will give me more deduction because for donation to family planning you get, and see, it is my money. So wherever I want to appropriate, I will appropriate there. Why ratio? My hard-earned money I have donated. So you know what I will say? Look. Although government will not consider my 1 lakh donation, 1 lakh is what I have donated. They are considering only 65. So I will say consider this 20,000 full. I will compromise this chamat, but I will not compromise on family planning. Wait, what compromise I have to do? I have donated 1 lakh, but I have to adjust myself in 65. So I have to do some compromise or not. From my pocket, how much I have spent 1 lakh, but I have to adjust in 65 because there is a limit. So I have to do some compromise. So I will compromise chamat because that will give me less deduction. But deduction, the more deduction you get is better. So more you will get from family planning. So see what I will do. I will take full 20,000 from this. Assuming from 65,000, this 20,000 is fully considered. And on this I will get full 100% deduction. I will take, it is my money I have donated. So I will think as if my 20,000 is fully utilized. Yes, now what is the remaining figure? Yes, this has to get compromised. This 45,000 pertains to chamat. Tell me, actually how much I given to chamat? 80,000. But then I have to restrict myself to 45,000. But then I will take 50% of that. Because until now I have not applied the 150 percentage. So I will take 50% of this. So see, my answer will be like this. See, always give first preference to family planning. See, you should understand logically. See, if you have given so much of donation and if government says no, this much is waste, it is not allowed. So what will I request? At least consider my family planning donation fully. Because that is only 20,000 and 20,000 fits well in 65. So at least consider my family planning full so that my full money is utilized. I will be able to get 100% deduction. Yes, remaining amount, although I have done donation of 80,000, but I understand there is a limit. So I will compromise to 45. Okay, tell me if you understood, try this. Wait, let me finish this. So answer is what? 20,000, 100%, 20,000. And this 45,000, 50% is 20 to 500. So total is? This will come here. This is a solution. So already our answer had reached AGTI. And this 40 to 500 I have prepared a working note. Can you see note 1? And this is the note 1. In short, you will always have to prepare a working note. And by the format of the note only. By the format. First what you will do? Make the list of all donations which are from FOCHMT. FOCHMT. Make a list. And in the list, full amount you have to take. I have purposely written 3 times to hammer full, because you know what is a common mistake I notice? Students, what they do, here only they apply 150%. They say, sir, family planning is 100, I will take 100, but for Chamat it is 50. So they take 50% here only. Means instead of 80,000 they write 40,000. That's wrong. First write the amount as it is. Bring it in limit. And then once you are in the limit, then apply 150%. Because see, when I say L50, it means 50% of the limited amount. So first come in the limit. So directly if you apply 50%, you will get 0. So tell me, make a system, tell me how will you proceed. First what you will do? Add all items of FOCHMT. And will you take 100%, 50% or as it is? Consider the full amount. We will take care of that 50% rule, but at the end here. But at the beginning, take as it is. Then what you will do? Total up. See, the total was what? 1 lakh. Compare with the limit. And then whichever is lower. And what will be the limit? 10% AGTI. And AGTI will be there ready in the statement. Today we solved a question where 80 GG was there. So AGTI was readily available. When you reach at the end of the sum, your end answer is AGTI only. So take 10% of that. Then compare total amount and limit, take whichever is less. Then bifurcate. Okay. Bifurcate how? First preference you should give to family planning, because that is giving me 100% deduction, and the more deduction I get, my tax will be less. Okay. Then remaining balancing figure you will allot to Chamat, and then you will give Chamat 50% of that. 50% of that you will get. Okay. Okay, try this. I am making one change. Look at the screen. What if this was 70,000, okay, and this was 30,000? Can you see the change? I am assuming family planning as 70,000. Means I have donated a lot in family planning, 70,000. Plus I gave some donation to Chamat also. What is Chamat? Charitable, Housing Development Authority, Minority Community, Temples, etc. There I have given donation of 30,000. So go as per the procedure. First total up. Total remains 1 lakh. Compare with the limit 65,000. Whichever is less, 65. Now a portion. First preference you should give to family planning, because my donation to family planning should not get wasted. So see, here I have given donation of how much? 70,000. So I don't want to waste 70. But government will say, dear, you don't want to waste your 70,000, but there is a limit, dear. Limit of 65. Okay, then give me 65 for family planning only. See, actually my thinking is that 70,000 family planning donation I don't want to waste, because that is giving me 100% deduction. I don't want to waste. So what government will say? Dear, you don't want to waste, but why don't you understand there is a limit? Limit means limit. So it is 65,000. So what you have donated 70, ignore 70, take 65. So give me 65. So entire 65 will come in F. And for Chamat, 0. Nothing will come in Chamat. See, my answer will be what? 65,000 into 100%, 65,000. Obviously, this is 65, So I cannot bifurcate that I will put 70 here. I cannot go beyond 65. See, in my previous example, it was 20 only. So 20,000 was nicely fitting in 65. So I fitted it, and then still there was a balance. But in the second example, my limit is 65 and family planning is 70. It is not fitting only there. So full 65 I gave to family planning. See, there are only two possibilities you will find. Either family planning amount is small, which will fit in this 65,000. Let's talk in 65,000 terms. Either the amount is small, so it will fit in 65. So bifurcate that. Take 100%, balance 50. Or what you will find, family planning amount is too much, that it is even crossing this 65. Then restrict to 65. I cannot go beyond 65. So restrict to 65. So full 65 will come in the area of family planning. And for Chamat, then it will be 0. Your answer will change then. Obviously your answer will change. Okay, last thing. What if family planning was not there only? Then as a protocol, I will try to separate family planning. But what I will separate? 0. So 0. So whole 65,000 will go to Chamat. All possibilities are taken. Now what else you can imagine? Tell me. Everything is there. See, in question they will create any combination. But what did I say? Questions can be many. System is only one. So by add the system, what you will do? First you will add FOCHMT. This you can find out from the question. And add as it is. See, I have hammered on this. Full amount. By mistake, if you take 50%, full blunder you have done. Don't take 50% right now. Take full amount. Then add all FOCHMT donation. Compare with 10% of AGTI, whichever is lower. So this way you come in the limit. Then bifurcate in two parts. First preference, try to take family planning as much as possible. But if family planning is too much, you cannot take that much. Take 65 only. But if it is less, take less. Then if something remains in the balance, give 50%. This way you get 80G. Wait. 80G, okay. So this is the standard format of solving 80G. And what about these donation? See, for these donation, you will not have to prepare a working note. See, for FO Chama, did you see? I have prepared a separate working note. See how I have done. Here I wrote 80G. Then a working note was prepared separately. And I suggest my student to literally buy that format only. But this headache is there in limited category. See, in unlimited category, you will not have to prepare a note. Whatever donation is given in the question, write it directly in the main statement. And write how much? Same amount. If in the question they give 46,000, write as it is. Yes, only if it is a drought relief fund, take 50%. Otherwise, you will not have to prepare working note. Let them give all. Panek, Zalma, GS, let them give all. We have to write one by one all the donation in the statement and directly write the amount. There is no working note for that. Yes, only care you have to take is if it is Prime Minister Drought Fund, 50%. Okay. And see, here also there is a rule. If donation is up to 2,000, cash will be allowed. But if you want to donate above 2,000, then cash is not allowed. Like it was there in 80 GGA, in GGB, GGC, cash is never allowed. See the summary. Donations, donation, donation. ATG, many donations. Precisely two lists. Panek, Zalma, GS, FO, Chamat. Then GGA, two donations. Research, rural development. GGB, GGC, only one item. Political party or electoral trust. Okay, see question number 2, you can take it for homework. Question number 2. Question 2 is homework, then question 3 is homework. Question 2 and 3. Please solve the question honestly. This will give you very good practice of whatever sections we have done till now. All these sections will be revised properly. In question 2 and question 3. Please do the homework and come. Please revise and come. Bye.